Hello, hello, Bonnie Sunshine here. Welcome to this week's Somae Society. I am alone with you all today. I just got back from Rhode Island from a trip, and it's really cloudy here. And it's strange to go from a sunny place to a not sunny place. And I'm feeling that like settle energy of being home and pulling all of my parts back in, my energy from my travel. So, Somae Society, we are on the platform School. You can watch us on YouTube, the recordings, and we're a coalition of intuitive arts. What does that mean? It's a place for a community to gather and share their intuition, have questions, commune with one another, and our main feature that we've been doing since November is every week we come online, we do a live space weather, and typically it's where we talk about astrology, gene keys, human design, your hearts, your charts, your intuitive arts, and you never know what's going to come out. Oh, I forgot my cards. Let me grab those. So you never know what's going to come out and speak for that week because we do plan like the weather, what we're going to talk about. But with our intuition, it pulls through different information. I got my stuffies here with us today. And one of the things that I like to do, as well as Kirsty Harris and Io Ash Misako, my co-hosts, is we pull cards. So I'm going to do a little bit of that today. And while I'm getting that set up, I would love to hear where you're joining us from, what beverage or tea you've got bringing in. I'm drinking this lovely, like apothecary cold tea. It's hot. It's four colds, and I love it because it tastes like lemony, licoricey. I forget all the things it has in it, but it helps me settle after I've traveled. And when I travel, I can have a tendency to catch a cold or just feel congested from being on planes, trains, and automobiles. So this helps me come back to my body. It opens up my sinuses. Um, and it's hydrating. So I like it. Mm. We will probably have a lot more pauses today because there aren't three of us hopping on and wanting to get in on whatever action is happening. I'd like to invite you to bring your whole selves, to have this time for yourself, deepen your breath, connecting to your body, feeling your feet on the ground or your sit bones where you're sitting, allowing yourself to be here. And I was contemplating what I was going to talk about today. One of the things that came through was embodiment or embodiment. And often what I find when I'm sharing is that the messages for other people are also for me. So I was thinking about, oh, what do I do when I come back home? What rituals do I have? Do I do any energy hygiene? Um, do I, for me, I like to have a do nothing day, which I did not build into this trip. And a do nothing day is where I have nothing planned and I let myself go with the flow. I like to unpack and spend time with my kitties. And today is not that day. I got I got some pet stuff coming in today where I'm walking a few pets, and my kitties have been wanting extra love. Wolfie curled up with me this morning and was very happy that I was in the bed, but he kept waking me up trying to get me to snuggle him, which I love. Mm. One of the things that is a really good energy hygiene, and I think we've been doing this one a lot recently, is my energy is mine, their energy is theirs. And for me, what I'm getting is my energy is mine, pulling it in from all the places I traveled so that I don't leave pieces of me behind. And also, whether that was intentional or not, also to not leave threads or strings out there that are unintentionally away from me. And their energy is theirs. And this situation is a couple things. One, anybody that I connected with, I'm able to return their energy to them or to their city or home, or even an event or situation, like going out to dinner. Maybe I picked up on something that I brought with me or that I'm still carrying. Take a deep breath with that one. Mhm. And there's one other. I was getting something about travel, like their energy is theirs. There are things that I don't like about traveling, and I want to return that. I can return that to the universe, to the sky, to source. I can return it to the earth where I can compost. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do it. So if you have something where, I was going to say the weekend, but we're on Tuesday, in the last week that you did that you would like to specifically return, you can say it with me. My energy is mine, their energy is theirs. And I'll often do this. My energy is mine, your energy is yours. My energy is mine, their energy is theirs. My energy is mine, their energy is theirs. Mm. Yeah, for me, I can feel more grounded after doing that. I feel more in my body. I feel more present. Also helps that I'm drinking and that I've had some breakfast. So I'm on the West Coast, and I often have morning food when I'm on the ball. Ooh. And now I'm noticing I'm saying and a lot. I love this. So this is something that's new for me. I'm not usually the one doing all of the talking, and I haven't done that. I haven't done a workshop in a long time, solo. So I can feel my feet tingling with that one. It's giving me information about um, not feeling fully connected to my spirit and myself. Okay, that's not all of it. Um, and the shadow card fell out. I think that's a bat. What do you think? So this is the Threads of Fate deck. And if you're noticing any tingling in your body, what is that telling you? This one is a little different than spirit chills. Spirit chills would be like a high density tingling or goosebumps. And this one feels more like pins and needles when like my feet were asleep and now they're waking up. That was part of the message for sure. It feels like waking up my, what is the word? It's not intuition. It's it's me practicing and being in this acts of service using my gifts fully. Yeah, that was it. So the shadow card. This is the Threads of Fate deck. I know I said that, but I didn't show the deck, did I? This one here. So with this deck, it has 3 different aspects. Well, 4. One is there's an element. This is an air sign, an air card. And with the air, earth, water, and fire, it gives 3 aspects. It gives an animal. For this card, it is a bat. A plant, which is mugwort. That's interesting. And a stone, which is the black phantom quartz. While I was in Rhode Island, I went to a garden that was a private home. It's beautiful. And as soon as we pulled up, my friend said, "Look at that mugwort." And I don't know that I would know what it looks like in the wild. I've probably just seen it dried. So I got really excited for what we were going to see and witness at this garden. It was very magical. Definitely gave a whole lot of fairy vibes. So I think this card, okay, it's telling me this card is not just for me, it's for other people. So the shadow card says that it's an indication that diving deeper into your shadow at this time will be beneficial. It's through knowing your unconscious self that we find the root of our blocks, perceived limitations, and wounds. Excuse me. Hold on a second. Feel like I'm clearing out all the junky junk from travel. And Miss Willow is here. This is my cat Willow. She is definitely a spirit animal, a familial, and she often comes to help move emotions or stuck energies. She's like a crystal. She's also here because she wants love, and she missed me a whole lot. One of the things I like to tell people about this deck is that, well, any deck or card, take with it what resonates and leave what doesn't. So if one of the 4 aspects of this card, air, bat, mugwort, or black phantom quartz, speaks to you, that might be a message to tune into the frequency of that item, that aspect, so that you can get the full transmission from this particular card. That's our experts at moving through the dark using echolocation. And I'm smiling because this is one of my clairs. In my knowing, and when I work with people, bodies talk to me, and I often get information from their bodies because I am using an echolocation, and it took me a very long time to figure out that's what it was. So the echolocation, it's almost like I hear things from their body. It is also, I use my other senses. So my eye is generally drawn to a particular body part, or I feel that body part speaking to me. And I don't always hear things, but I will get memories or sensations in my body or around my body or through my knowing that allows me to get more information. I like to hear the person speak about what they're feeling or what that might mean to them, meaning the information that I get, so that I get more information from that. Because the other part of echolocation for me is when someone speaks into what's happening or what they're feeling, they're resonating the frequency from that, their own intuition. So in working with me, we use both frequencies. We use my energy and we use the other person's energy. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe that is part of this my energy is mine and your energy is yours, is the fact that we are we are needing to make sure, well, one, when the session ends, we need to make sure that we're not carrying the other person's frequency. But what else could that be? Yeah, share with me in the chat or on the recording anything else that's coming through for you on what that means for you and how you work with this with your clairs or with your intuition. So these hit like clairaudience, clairsentience. Sometimes I smell things. So I hear, smell, taste. Do I have to taste? Usually it'll give me like a memory of something I've eaten. So sure, but I don't necessarily taste it. And I didn't always have all of these sensations. So I've learned how to increase the volume on the ones that already come through. And that's one thing that I do with my clients is help tune in and turn up like a radio. So there's multiple dials. Turn up the volume so we can hear it better or receive the information better, and fine tune so we're actually on the right station for us, meaning the client. I don't have an attachment to how your intuition comes through for you. And I love helping people figure out and amplify their own magic, their own gifts. Thank you, Miss Willow. I was just noticing this stuffy. So this is a lion. And are we in Leo season? Did I see somewhere that we're in Leo? So this is my friend's daughter tried to get me to name this guy Leo. And I just call him Lion, but he's got a little tail, which is super cute. I digress. I sometimes feel like I'm scattered when I keep switching topics. And I know that the reason I'm diverting is often there's messages for people that are coming through. The other reason is my brain just goes scattered. Perimenopause, menopause. If you can relate to that, let me know. Mugwort. Mugwort is an extremely magical plant that calls us to explore all aspects of ourselves. It is effective in trance work and is an ally for those wishing to go deeper in the dream work. Our dreams are the messengers for our unconscious. And what I'm getting from this is a memory. I was in Joshua Tree at the start of a 9-month plant medicine journey. And we popped into I think a store with stones and herbs. And I bought some mugwort. And I'd never bought mugwort before this time. The people in the medicine holders for our 9-month journey, they were talking about how to use it. And one of them suggested I put it under my pillow. So for probably a year, I had it under my pillow so that I could work with it in the dream world. And I find that at some point it wants to just not go back there when I'm working with tools or um, something long term. Question. Yeah. So tell me how your relationship to either mugwort or your tools, and maybe that'll come back around. Black phantom quartz. I don't think I've ever heard of this one. The phantom quartz crystals have imprints of themselves within the crystal, so that when you look at the phantom quartz, you can see triangular shadows throughout the body of it. In this way, their growth is captured for one to see. This transparency is evolution makes black phantom quartz the ideal ally for doing shadow work. That's cool. Thought I heard something. Is there anything more with this one? Cool. So I would love to hear how you're feeling in this time, how your heart is, what might be coming through, and if there's anything that you're desiring for today's session in our community time. So the plan is I'm gonna pull a couple more cards, I think, and just allow any messages to come through for today. And then if we're okay, I'll keep recording and you guys can share. Otherwise, we are very welcome just to go into after hours, which is where we allow our people who come live to come um, off mute and on camera if they'd like to share. And we don't usually record that. So you have to come live if you want to be in the community time. And I would say it's one of our more powerful sessions. And they're like 10 minutes to an hour. And so we've allocated 15 minutes for them. And there's some days that you and I have more time, so we stay on when the conversation's going really deeply, or we're all still a yes. So this deck is the Psychic Tarot, John Holland, and the all of my decks are Oracle. I have tried multiple times to learn from a tarot deck, and this is the first one that is helping me bridge that. So it has the major arcanas, it has all of the four aspects of a deck or of a tarot deck, but they have different color orders to represent. And like represent pentacles, cups, wands, swords, but they're from a different lens. So it has emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, one, your chakras, major arcana. What did I miss? Did I say mental? I think that's it. Okay. Everybody take a deep breath. Connecting your breath to your body allows spirit to connect even closer. And when I'm doing the readings, I can hear the information more clearly when we are connected to our bodies. So I also say, take a deep breath to connect to mine, and it helps bring me back. Sometimes I find I'm holding my breath, or I'm not sending breath to a particular part of my body. And this helps me become aware of that. If you might notice that Excuse me. I burp to move energy and clear things for myself or the group. Often I do muscle testing, and one of the ways that I do it is hydration, number one, connecting the breath to the body. I ask a question to my inner self, and forward is yes, back is no, and no movement is neutral. But I have to be hydrated. And when I'm not getting any messages, sometimes that means that my polarity is switched. Okay. And the polarity reset, you can do one of two things. Put your hand on the top of your head and then flip it. My polarity is totally switched. Isn't that interesting? It's okay. And so you want to flip it until, so weird. It's telling me to do it the other way. Until you feel locked into your polarity, where yeses are, you know what your yes is, whether that's forward, backward, side to side, or no for me can often feel like a collapse. The other way to reset it is through the I love you. So do your hands and then pump. Remembering to keep breathing. And then I like to switch it. Oh, that one feels weird. Oh, my ears just popped. That was delightful. Okay, there it is. You did that one. Great. So I pulled two cards with this deck, which is pretty typical for me. I'll do two card spreads. The first card is Choose Wisely. What I like is it's you, the person, sitting on a dock, and there are different hand motions pointing outwards, including, I think we decided these were albatross, but it's reversed. And for me, reversed for this particular card is saying two things. Are you not feeling connected to your ability to choose? Does that feel blocked or unavailable? And are you using that as a weapon, like pointing the fingers to be like, you can't choose, you need to do the choices. Why are you like this? I'm gonna clear that one. It's a big one. And what else is reversed? I'll hold it back up. I'm getting, are you having trouble connecting to your inner world in general? Yes. Okay. And then the second card I picked was the crown chakra. This is at the top of your head, just above your head, and it was also reversed. So often when there is a block at one energy center or a chakra, the block is actually at the energy center above or below. So the energy center might be your third eye, or it might be your root. And that is one reason why we definitely try to connect to our bodies so that we can get more information about where the block might be. And not that we need to fix, change, or do something with that information, but that we can then receive the data around the block or the non-open. So both of these were reversed. So down. And Oh, they're both sevens. Look at that, a double seven. I have my notes here. Don't, okay, we'll use this. I like to do numerology. So if you're in our group and you want to go deeper, gosh, I'm completely in the zone. I'm having trouble finding things in the book because I'm channeling stuff. There it is. So 7 is the inner awareness, insight, and success. So if these two are reversed, it's a double 7. Yeah, I'm getting that same message of where are you judging yourself or like placing blame, maybe even deflecting blame. Okay, so the question is this yours or is this mine? So close your eyes, take a breath, tune into the body, into the spirit, into the emotions, into the mental, and just ask these different bodies, is this mine? So if the answer is yes, that gives more information. Okay, so I have a practice for this. If this is yours, and even if it's not, you might have more information stored in your body. So I find that if it is not mine, that the body may remember information about whose it is because I was given it through my DNA, through my lineage, through the land, through my ancestry, my familial origin. Is there more? Okay, it'll come. So the practice is take a breath. You might be lying down or sitting and use one hand or another, or you can use your mind's eye and just allow your hand to traverse over your body. And it may stop somewhere. So mine stopped immediately over this section of my body. And have a conversation with this section. What the first question I like to ask is, what would this body part or this system, this organ, this energy center, what would this like me to know? And then listen. You're not doing anything wrong if you don't get any information. It might need to be a different question. Is there something that this body part, energy center, system, or organ would like to hear from me? So I'm getting yes. And allow that message to come through. You might experience sensations. You might hear something. It might give you a memory. It might bring through an emotion. And again, we're not here to fix, change, or do. We're simply allowing the communication of the body to give us more data, more information about this particular spot that we stopped on. And I will drop in a couple more questions, probably. Let's see, no, just do them now. Okay. Let's see if I can find the other questions. Okay, so the first one was, is there anything this body part would like me to know? Is there anything that this body part would like to hear from me? Yes. Is there anything? Okay, so this one was mine. Does this body part, does this energy center, system, organ have an age? Okay, so for me, that's a no. But if it had an age, that'll give you different information about whether it's for you, whether it was yours or not, it'll give you more information. And so you might want to ask age appropriate questions at that point to listen and receive the data. You can always hear um, what sense I'm using, because I will say, I see, I hear, I know. And those are telling you or telling me which clairs I'm using to bring forward the information. Some more questions. No. And I like to do this exercise for probably 15, 20 minutes because it allows me to get more of my body and go deeper with this particular piece of information. And if you feel complete, you can slowly open your eyes, look around the room, make sure that you feel safe and arrived. What was the other thing? Um, for me, this is a practice of grace for myself and for those who maybe have come before me on their experiences and how they intentionally or unintentionally gave me this information. So for me, this is mine and it's probably a memory. It's not giving me the information now. So it means I'm not meant to be doing it online with you. I'm meant to be doing it when we're finished or at a later time. But it's really important that if you are getting information and you're unable to do it on calls like this, that you go back to it and you spend time with yourself so that you can build that trust with your body, that you are listening, that you follow through on your commitments. So if you have a commitment to your body, go ahead and state it to yourself and you can come back to it later. Welcome to those of you who joined. I had my eyes closed. So I didn't see when you all came in. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want a card? Do we want to go straight to community time? I'm hearing a yes. Okay, so let me know if we go straight to community time. Would you like me to turn off the recording, or do you want to be here and go and take a drink? Let me know in the chat if anything's coming up for you. Definitely having a tight jaw today, which I think is from, oh, I know what it's from. It's from all the travel. I was carrying a heavy backpack and my this muscle back here is really tight. I meant to use my vibration plate last night when I got home and I was so tired I just crashed out. I'm going to close this out. We'll end early and just have community time. Unless someone else would like to come on camera and share anything, you are invited to come forward. Just let me know. Use your hand or put it in the chat. Aha. First. Thank you all for joining us today. For those of you live, please stay on the Zoom. We'll do our after hours on the same Zoom. For those of you watching, let me know how you received today's transmission from our community time. And if you have any follow-up questions to the practices or information that I provided today, I'm Bonnie Sunshine for Somae Society, This has been Space Weather. Join us next week when Ash Misako and Kirsty Harris will be back online to join us. And if you'd like to join our community, you can find us on the platform School under Somae Society. And you can also watch us on YouTube. So we have a Somae Society channel there. It's free, so you can watch anytime and join the community where we go deeper. Thanks so much for being here. I'll stop the recording and go ahead and stay on if you'd like to.